Hi Gemini, and welcome to your April 2020 reading. I will insert the beginning of this, hopefully before this clip, kind of what's going on here and what I have set up. But I am using the Forest Fairy by Lucy Cavendish along with Animal Spirit Deck by Kim Crayons. And please look at the links below for, my website, my Instagram, my Facebook. I'm doing a collective healing tonight. I'm going to try to offer free content, whether it be, a live video stream, questions, or a group healing, which this month is going to be a group healing, but I'm going to try to do that every other month. And always leave comments, like, share, subscribe. I'm open for suggestions. If you like these kind of videos, if you like vlogs, if you like just behind the scenes, then I suggest going to my Patreon. It's a low cost monthly to get a ton of content and, to get more one-on-one time with me. And I would say it's a fourth of what you would pay if you were doing it individually through my website. So it's actually a really good deal. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of shuffle the cards. See if I see any. Sorry, you can hear my chihuahua. She's barking. It's like 6 in the afternoon and my husband's coming home. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards and see if I see any animal guides or any angel numbers. I'm seeing a lot. I've been seeing this a lot lately, Gemini, throughout this the April energies for all collective zodiacs. And it's been a lot of water energy. It's been a lot of like mermaid energy, sea energy, healing. So I'm seeing that. And I'm also seeing the angel numbers 75 and 81 for, angel numbers. You have prophecy, guidance, and direction. So this has been coming up a lot too. This is a time, Gemini, April is about establishing our own connection to spirit, seeing things from within, getting messages from within, not being distracted by daily routine, and really having to kind of pull back on the busyness. And that is giving us more time to listen to our intuition, listen to our guides, get these signs and symbols and prophecies, whether it be through your dreams, it be through music, it be through geometry shapes, just mandalas, kind of like seeing things in a way that we are still connected, and we don't have to stay busy and constantly engaging in media and consumerism in order to feel fulfilled. Then you have shining hope and future. Again, this is really connecting. It's about understanding that, yes, we're going through a lot right now. And for you guys, I'm seeing it's mainly finally, for you guys, it's really finances and not necessarily as the other group where it was mainly about spirituality and relationships. So you guys, you're really starting to see that your finances maybe need to be relooked at and reevaluated. Maybe you've kind of stressed yourself out to the point of burnout, and having the cut in pay or even unemployment, or maybe you're still working if you're in the healthcare field and you're kind of feeling overworked. This is the time to see what is suitable for you and not necessarily what everyone recommends and, the highlight books, the most often congratulated books, like, you need to follow this book, it's going to change your life sort of energy. You're starting to see that you, in fact, have that kind of hope and that prophecy to kind of tailor it to yourself. And how much that is going to help you, Gemini, in April is by looking through things like in a telescope, you know, you're looking for that shiny energy, the energy that gives you light and warmth and hope that, yes, I can uproot everything and start over again. And it's not being, you know, disrespectful to my past self or my goals or what people want for me. You know, it's about getting more clarity, your clarity, not necessarily the collective clarity, but we're getting that too, as you know, with all this going on. In my opinion, it's kind of like, you know, ascension, downloads, you know, clarity that we haven't really been able to establish or hear because of everything going on. And then you have stillness, pause, and delicacy. So again, you're starting to really see not only your sensitivities to everything going on, Gemini, but it's also about the delicacy of your finances, the delicacy of what you have individually, and understanding how grateful it is and how much value it is, and understanding that you don't have to keep accumulating to have more value. You know, it's about kind of working with what you have and being gentle, being grateful, getting more clear and getting more acquainted with what you have and how much that can grow you, how much that can affect you in a positive way. And it's not just about having all the answers. It's about being okay with not having the answers and staying present enough to enjoy it, whether you have the answers or not. It's a feeling, kind of not necessarily an experience. It's more of a feeling. It's kind of an experience, but it's an experience that is more inward than outward, because we all want to purchase and buy and, you know, kind of levitate towards and gravitate, not levitate, towards things that kind of catch people's eyes. You know, you're not going to be like, oh, you know, the first person, you know, you can have two different people, for an example, and someone has a new necklace and someone's been really doing like hardcore spiritual work on themselves, self-development, and you're going to see that necklace first. You know, you're not necessarily going to see the inner work of that person, but which has more value in the long run to you? Now, I'm not saying one or the other's, you know, better than the other. It's up to you to decide, Gemini, and it's really supposed to be, you know, enough for you, knowing that you're enough. Because I feel in the past you've been spirit showing me stair steps, and I've done this too, and it's just kind of the way we've been conditioned to think, where we have to have a better job, we have to have a paying better job, we have to get to the next level, we have to have the next certification or degree for us to have more value, for us to get more people on our side, for them to be more convinced that we're enough. And that's draining. So replenishing yourself and pausing, getting the downloads, the messages internally, and understanding the value that you already have is a damn good blessing that you've probably missed out on because other things have got your attention. So it's really about an internal awakening. It's not necessarily, it's not necessarily something that everyone's going to see. It's going to be something you acknowledge first, and that you get to be proud of yourself first before anyone else sees it. So in April, Gemini, it's about being very patient with yourself and understanding that you have needed this patience for yourself because you've already lent it out far too much, far too many times. And they're showing me almost like a bald tire on a vehicle, and you just kind of ran yourself to the ground, and now it's time to uplift yourself and really lend that energy to yourself, that inner power, working with the solar plexus. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from the animal spirit just to see what's coming forward for you. And they're wanting to jump. 67 and 76. That's coming up for you for angel number, which is interesting. I've never really seen it reversed like that, back to back. That's what I'm seeing for you guys. And I'm really feeling the third eye coming forward for you as well. So I'm just going to go ahead with the card that's upright, okay? This is Cobra. And this is just saying that, to me, Cobra, snakes, is all about shedding old skin. As you know, kind of, maybe it's used too much when people think of that, but it's also about, in my opinion, being sovereign in your territory, and really just kind of understanding that boundaries are there to protect you. You're not being selfish, you're not being manipulative, but you are kind of getting to know yourself without attracting more, Spirit showing me like Linus and his blanket, like the dust, the extra crap that people, excuse my language, but that people place on us, and they kind of project it on us because they don't want to deal with themselves. They don't want to shed that skin that is really harmful to them, a part of them that is really toxic even to themselves, and they don't know they're doing it. So Gemini and April, it's about seeing where that is needed in your life and where it's already been kind of implemented. And again, understanding the value of being aware of that and working on that, and how much it's going to liberate you throughout this time of being isolated. Then you have the Hawk. And this came up, I was thinking about it even before I started doing your reading, so that's interesting. And it was talking about, when I was talking to my guides about it, because that's what they wanted me to put in the Reiki notes, part of it was this guide coming through, this animal guide for this month. And it's about seeing things differently, you know, and knowing that they talked a little bit about being, how do I say it? Being very attached to a symbol as a whole, like the flag, the American flag, being very patriotic and, you know, kind of trusting, you know. But how can we trust in ourselves and what God has for us individually, not only just community-wise and globally, but how can we see that view in a more, not really convincing, I don't want to be like fake it till you make it necessarily, Gemini, but it's about really understanding the value and seeing things differently. And once you get through this work of, you know, releasing or gathering or whatever you feel like you need right now, you're going to feel more proud of who you are, and not in a narcissistic way. I want to keep throwing that out there because that word is used so much, and I don't want people to, you know, necessarily diagnose yourself or people around you. But it's about being very, again, the energy I feel is very proud, and understanding that even the things that people might, because they're showing me kind of like a vulture, you know, they kind of go after the odds and ends that has been kind of claimed as morbid or, you know, nasty. And yet we need that energy to assist the earth and to assist us with growth and with the cycle of life, you know. And so again, maybe looking at this energy that you're going through, whether it be from the actual pandemic that's going on or something individually that you're going through internally or externally with a person or your finances, how it seems like, you know, you're getting punished, or it's morbid, or you're thinking morbid, or you're thinking in a different way that might seem to other people kind of like a turnoff. Feel that it has value for you because it's making you see things in a better light, in a way that is more easier to digest, because you're not necessarily taking on other people's crap, you know. So it's really about, it's a lot of individuality, and it's really about, what is your story? What is your proud moments? How can that be, you know, kind of put into a figure or a symbol like the flag, and kind of know that that's yours. It's a proud moment through the illness, the sickness, or the struggles, that it's something that you can just hold on to, and that gives you a little bit of comfort, you know. I hope I'm making sense. It's kind of all over the place, I understand, I'm sorry, but that's just the energies that Spirit's showing me, something with the flag and just the energies of that. And then you have a couple more cards I'm going to try to get through, because I'm trying to keep these under 20 minutes. Fox in reverse. This is saying that you don't have to worry about people manipulating you, that people are not necessarily coming from like a vulture ready for you to die and take what they want. So if you kind of feel like, whether this energy of April, whether it be what we're going through globally or individually, if you're feeling financially, you feel as if someone, it's like a conspiracy, or it's, it's very hard to explain. It's almost giving me like tension in my third eye. So there's something that Spirit's trying to get you to see from a different perspective, and know that you are not being manipulated, you're not being punished, and it's about you staying, of course, safe, but where can you be a little bit more active? Where can you really kind of slide yourself into, like a fox would, being very sly, absorbing information and digesting it in a way that makes you feel good. It's kind of a weird energy, okay? Because I would almost suggest in April, Gemini, is you would maybe get yourself into a point of self-healing, whatever that looks like for you. If it's Reiki, if it's music, if it's exercise, if it's, you know, journaling therapy, if it is whatever, fight those black holes with something that makes you feel good, you know, and that's gonna help keep you from feeling like every turn you're being manipulated, you know, or every turn you've got to hide something in order to stay alive. It's kind of like, again, I'm getting this collective energy of going back to survival of the fittest, you know, because of everything that's going on. But you have the golden egg upright, and that's good energy. That's saying that, in my opinion, through all this confusion, chaos, kind of like up in the air, what's going on, this is not really making sense. There is something that will stand out, that will make you feel like everything you're going through in April, or what you've went through before April, has more value than you realized. And it's something that maybe you can perhaps give someone a tangible proof, you know. And again, I'm seeing something with money. I feel like you feel possibly that you've been kind of robbed in some way. And in April, you're going to see that it's not going to be the way you think. It's really supposed to replenish a lot for you. And there is still a lot of blessings coming within your finances. It's just in a way that you didn't expect. And it's almost to kind of, it really makes you want to start over, really, in your mind and in your third eye, allowing Spirit to come in and give you those solutions that you've been praying for. So something will come, a solution will come. And then I see the eagle, in reverse. And again, it's just saying that kind of the patriotic thing, like it might not hold a lot of value to a lot of people, but it holds value to you. And that's something to be proud of, and to kind of remind you that everything you went through has value, and it's not necessarily needs to be labeled good or bad. It all happened for that specific tangible, almost like a tangible symbol that other people can recognize. So maybe it is getting a new tattoo. Maybe it is your money will be looked at differently when all this is said and done in April, Gemini, because you will have a different look on money. You will maybe feel like you can actually deal with less. You can survive off less, and you're not necessarily going to be splurging like you were before. Something's going to come to make you have a solution that you never thought. And then you have camel in reverse, and to me that's just saying that you might feel like you're going through dry spells for whatever reason, any area of your life, but right now it's realizing that you don't have, again, I'm seeing Spirit show me, you don't have to go throughout the whole desert to get the same thing that you might have around you if you looked a little closer. So it's really about being more aware, paying more attention, and to keep digging deeper instead of going farther and hoping that you can find it without that hard work and dedication and faith that you can find it around you. It might just not be as good looking or as perfect as you think the other thing is going to be, but really it has the same value. It's just in your mind. So I hope that this makes sense. I hope you have a great April. Leave comments, questions down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I like to hear from you guys, even if it's not about the video. I just want to see how you're doing. I will talk to you soon.